Hello world, my name is Dana ID Matthews and welcome to my show about stuff, and today I'm going to be talking about last night's heavyweight championship fight between Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Tyson Fury. Now, hot damn, first and foremost, I just want to say what a fight. I did not expect Tyson Fury to look that good. I guess the training from his last fight up till now was actually enough for him to look as good as he did. Holy crap, I was impressed. The thing that I was impressed with the most about Tyson Fury was those feints. Like, you know, people call it herky jerky movement or, you know, whatever, but what it actually is feints, making you think that he's going to throw a punch when he's not actually going to throw a punch. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about feints that aren't boxers is that feints wear you down. If the feints are working, your mind is worrying about what's coming. So even if you're not throwing punches, you're still getting tired. And you saw that throughout the fight. You know, Deontay Wilder's stamina as the fight went on, he wasn't as crisp as I thought he would be. He got totally outclassed and outboxed most rounds. So, but there's two parts of this story, or of this boxing match. There's the story of the boxing match, and then there's the reality of the boxing match. So here's how I put it. The story of the fight is that Tyson Fury won. He boxed beautifully, considering everything that he's come back from, the mental health, the depression, the weight gain. He completely outclassed Deontay Wilder and came back from two knockdowns, especially that last knockdown in the 12th round was brutal. Somehow, some way, he got up. So the story of the fight, and a lot of people are going to say absolutely that Tyson Fury won, and I'm not mad at those people. You know, cheer for Tyson Fury. He's a great fighter, fantastic. Not gonna see a lot of guys like him in the boxing world, especially at heavyweight. So that's the story of the fight, is that Tyson Fury won. Now, the reality of the fight is that it was a draw officially, and here's why that doesn't surprise me. Because even though Deontay Wilder got outboxed, even still in a little bit in the rounds that he did knock Fury down in. When you get knocked down in boxing, the way the points system is it's a 2-point round. So a 10-8 round. Usually if you win, it's 10-9, but if you knock somebody down and it's counted, it's a 10-8 round regardless of what happens. And with two of those, it's like Wilder had already won 4 rounds. So all he would need to do, other than the rounds that he scored the knockdowns in, is win 2 rounds out of the fight, and it would be a draw. And that's why it doesn't surprise me. When you break the numbers down, a draw is not far-fetched at all, because the knockdowns are 2 10-8 rounds. And then to be completely honest, I saw the scorecards where people were saying, Fury won 1-5, clean, easy. But to be honest, I don't really see that. I could see, especially the first 3, I could easily see those being swing rounds. I could easily give Wilder number 1, 2 or 3, just because neither guy was really doing anything. And at the very least, especially I think in the first round, while Fury was moving, looking good. But, Wilder was the one coming forward. Wilder was the one, jabbing, actually throwing punches. And for the, first few rounds, Fury looked good. He taunted, he moved. He made Wilder miss a lot, absolutely. But there was no, there's not any big counter punches. There's no effective aggression. And that's a big part of boxing, especially nowadays. So I like to be fair to everybody. And the person who had who was the aggressor coming forward and landed a few shots, even though if they weren't hard, was Deontay Wilder in the first, 1 to 3 especially. So when I see it like that and I break down the math, then a draw kind of makes sense. And so I'm not really mad at the judges or the decision. It was a great, fantastic fight. This fight would have easily been Fury's if Wilder hadn't got that last knockdown, and that was brutal. And to be completely honest as well, that count seemed a little slow. And I was actually surprised that they didn't wave it off right away, seeing the way that he hit the ground. But kudos to Tyson Fury. He has a heart of a champion, and he gave the credit of him getting up to God, and and that's fantastic and all that. But just hot damn, did not expect him to get up from that punch. I thought he was out cold, and he might have even been for a few seconds. And the fact that Tyson Fury said that in the post-conference, in the post-fight interviews, he said that Deontay Wilder was the hardest-hitting boxer in heavyweight history. And to be honest, I try to think back, but and there are obviously some heavy hitters, but I don't think there is any one guy in the heavyweight division that could truly depend on one punch to be that powerful, where if it connects, no matter what, homie is going down and going down hard and most likely not coming up. So this was a hell of a fight. It was definitely a boxing lesson for Deontay Wilder. He's definitely going to go back and hopefully tighten up some technical issues, because Tyson Fury was dancing and weaving and putting his hands behind his back, and he was moving his ass off, and especially in rounds 6 and on, despite being knocked down. That's when he started really letting him go, started really countering and catching Deontay Wilder and coming in with a feint and then a 1-2, and you know what I mean. So man, Tyson Fury boxed his hell off. Story of the fight, Tyson Fury won. The reality is the fight was a draw, and I don't think that was the wrong decision. But I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of angry fans. There's gonna be a lot of controversial talk. But this is good for boxing, I think, because not only do both guys get to keep their hardware so they have bargaining chips for later fights, this puts a lot of pressure on Anthony Joshua, because we know he's been ducking both of them. And I think now the pressure is going to be too much. He's either going to have to fight one of them or fight Luis Ortiz, and if he doesn't, then he's going to get major backlash, and he has no excuse. And to be completely honest, I think still both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder beat Anthony Joshua even easier now. I think Joshua knocks Joshua out, because even though Anthony Joshua is a more technically skilled boxer and has power, doesn't have power like Wilder, and Joshua does not move like Fury. Nobody moves like Fury in the heavyweight division. And Anthony Joshua is quite mechanical and definitely not as fast. And Wilder just had that fight with Luis Ortiz, who was a highly regarded skilled boxer as well. And I think Luis Ortiz is definitely more skilled than Joshua is. So that's a win for Wilder, I believe, if that happens, whether it happens now or later. And the same with Fury. If Fury looks anything like he looked in this fight with Wilder or in his fight with Klitschko, easy work. You just, I think he might even be able to knock out Joshua too, because, with his movement, he'll dodge everything that Joshua's got, and he'll counter him, and it'll counter him to death. But yeah, this was a fantastic fight. Boxer versus power puncher. Ended up in a draw. Some people say Tyson Fury won. Not a lot of people will say that Wilder won. The story of the fight will dictate that. Not a lot of people will say Wilder won a fight. But I think a draw was the right decision. But kudos to both Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, true heavyweight champions. Can't wait to see both of them back. The landscape of boxing is changing, and heavyweights are back in action. I'm really happy about that. So with that said, My name is Dana ID Matthews, and this is my show about stuff. Thank you very much for listening. Peace out.